Would it be too bold to ask what brought you to this exact street corner today?
And then you just start this conversation, and then you have a best friend for at least 2 hours.
Use them as a way to like prompt conversation and kind of like cheesy, will you be my travel friend?
Welcome to Where She Builds,
The podcast where two globetrotting solopreneurs share the real journey of building a life and business on the move.
I'm Shandy, an online personal trainer helping people feel strong anywhere in the world.
And I'm Anna, creator of Your Travel Friend Anna, a global community and go-to resource for those wanting to live a fulfilling and culturally curious life.
Thanks for being here.
Let's dive into this week's episode.
Welcome back, everybody, to Where She Builds, our podcast here. I'm Shandy, and I'm with my co-host here, Anna. Anna, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing well. I'm a little like the weather is matching the mood.
Oh no. Is it gloomy?
It's popping sunshine. It's been such beautiful weather here in British Columbia. And just these past few days, I drove yesterday from Vancouver to the Kelowna area. And the first 2 hours was like full downpour rain, cloudy.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it's so scary in my little Golf driving past trucks as they spray. And it's just me, vroom, vroom, let me go.
And it's probably so loud too, right?
I had music really high to cover the sound so I wouldn't be as scared. But yes, it is. So the sun's coming out today. It's better. It's kind of up and down, but it's good. We need rain in BC. It's keeping the forest fires at bay. So it's great. And how is the weather where you are?
It's also gloomy. It's just one of those days, you know? You're nothing to complain about, but it's just a little bit gloomy, and you got to have those days to appreciate the sunlight later on. So it's all good.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah. I feel like I don't mind downs. They suck so much, but it makes us appreciate the ups. So
absolutely,
it's all good. And how's life in Canada going?
Oh, it's so great. I love being back at home. It's busy, of course, because all of the online clients that I have, you want to meet in person, and you want to get to, you have that in-person feeling better. And I really like that, but it does get you a bit tired. You need a couple of coffees throughout the day, but I wouldn't change it. I love it so much. It's so nice. And also some nice family time. And it's always nice to be back in the childhood home and bringing back good memories. And it's good. It's fun.
And you shared just before we started to press record, you shared you're going to the greatest outdoor show on earth. So where are you going, Shandy?
Going to the Stampede.
I cannot wait for your Dutch partner to wear a cowboy. What's the outfit choice?
We're just going to wear jeans. We're not going to buy a cowboy hat just for this.
You can stop at my parents' house. They have like 6, and we can get him it's a bolo, I think it's called.
The bolo tie, the thin leather. No, that's not.
No, but there's some that are so cute. Like there was one at this house that had like a little cowboy hat on the strings.
What?
The bolo, you know that string thing? Yeah.
No.
Anyway.
We'll wear some jeans. It'll be fine. A nice little hoodie.
Plaid.
I do have my plaid, so I can wear that. Yeah. But the cowboy hat is a little bit too much. Actually, we were watching a little bit of the rodeo on the TV the other day, and Patrick, my partner, he was like, what is the reason that cowboy hats are shaped the way that they are? And I was like, you know what? That's a good question. So I looked it up. And could you take a guess why they're shaped the way that they are?
There is a reason, and I can't think of it at all. Tell me.
To protect them from, there's a lot of different reasons, but one of them is to protect them from the sunlight. So it's like wide rimmed.
Well, yeah, but
and then it comes up. But then also from the weather, like so rain, everything, it doesn't fall on you. It like falls off.
I genuinely thought, because there's a slight curve up, so I wondered if it was like a gutter, so the rain would pour off you. But yeah, it is like, if you think of a true ranchman cowboy, they're outside working all day, so it was their way of staying sun protected.
Yeah, and then the little ribbles up at the top is just to grab it. So
I did know that.
Easier to take it off on and off. And I want to make a game out of it tomorrow to see how many people wear their cowboy hats the wrong way.
Yes, because that's a big
such a big thing.
Skinnier part at the skinnier grab. We're all touching our heads here if you're watching on YouTube. Skinnier part at the front, am I correct?
Yeah, and then the shape of the front, so it's like kind of flat brimmed, and then it goes up, and then the back it goes just all the way around.
Oh, okay.
So then you can see. Yeah, but we're gonna.
I know
make a game
he doesn't
out of
want
it.
to wear a hat, but there's going to be a lot of people wearing hats. So.
There are, but we're not going to be one of them.
Okay. Anyway, I'll give you my address if you want to go pick up some hats to wear. They're not real ones. The real ones are gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous hats. Yeah. But we got some good old for the once a year activities.
Some show ones. I love that you guys went full out with that you actually have them.
Yeah, I mean, we just for the once a year activity, we have some old ones.
Well, it's fun because where I'm from, like small town, there's a lot of people that are actually cowboys, ranchers, like people that are around here that actually wear the hats for something. And it's funny to try to explain it to Patrick because it's like, yeah, people have different outfits too, right? They have their show cowboy hats, the ones that they wear at like weddings or important things that are it's clean. And then they have their actually working cowboy hats, the ones that they wear outside that are like tan from the sun and they're dirty with like cow poop and whatever. Like they've got different things, and also with the cowboy boots too. So it's so funny to just see like, oh yeah, they're going somewhere nice today, or oh no, they're just working out today, like working out in the field.
Belt buckles.
Yeah.
Because if they're a real rodeo rider, they've got the diamond crusted big, and then they have like their everyday, probably family heirloom kind of, worn it for years and years. So
yeah, so it's quite fun. It's fun because then I don't think of it as a cultural thing. And then when I go back to the Netherlands, people are like, do people actually wear cowboy hats there? I'm like, yeah, of course they do. It's normal.
Yeah. I chose not to be in Calgary during the time of the Stampede. I do love, as exactly what we're talking about, that there is this cultural experience. There's some really cool things if you watch the rodeo and the chuck wagons, they call it, which is horses racing. They also have this amazing race that is not televised, and I'm trying to like comment on TikTok to like bring some attention to it, that the First Nations groups, they relay race. Have you seen this?
I did see that. Yeah,
they race horseback. The dangerous part isn't the horseback riding bareback, it's they jump off one horse and jump on a second horse and do a second lap bareback, so they have one rein. But oh my, like the inner thigh strength to keep you on the horse. It's insane.
Wild, right? Yeah. Wild.
So I wish I was home just to like see that one race, but I've decided to stay in beautiful BC instead.
Fair. It's hard life.
I know.
No, but honestly, it's a give or take. Like it's so much fun to be at the Stampede. I mean, the last time I was there was 6 years ago, but it is fun for the cultural aspect of it. And there's people that come, like we flew from Reykjavik to come here, and there's people that were coming from Iceland just to come to the Stampede. They said that they do it every year. They've been doing it for 10 years already because they wanted a little bit of sun, because in Iceland they don't get much sun. So they wanted to get some sun and enjoy the Stampede. I'm like, that is so cool that people travel from all over the world just to Calgary to come to the Stampede, that I think is so just normal, but it's actually
in our backyard.
Yeah.
We can go any year, anytime. We're so lucky, but I think that's very similar. Like people are like, oh, I've never gone, because it's just there all the time. When you can't access it all the time, it seems like such a cool event to get to be a part of.
Well, it's like having the mountains in your backyard too. You always think, oh, I'll go there later, and you never go. Like my family, my parents haven't been to Banff for years, probably 20 years. And then we went a couple years ago, and they're like, oh, it's so nice here. We should go more often. Like, yes, it's right here. Gosh.
Also, your go is pretty Canadian there.
What was it?
I loved it. She's getting her accent back. To go.
To go.
We're to go to Banff. That's hilarious.
But I just want to change the subject a little bit. Yeah. For those of you guys watching on YouTube, if you want to take a peek at Anna's sweater, how cool is that? I'm so excited. It looks so cool.
Up. We've got a hoodie. There's like I'm stepping away from the mic. We've got a little airplane, and I'm going to turn around. Shandy can read it.
Yeah. So on the back of it says, "This is my airport outfit." How cool is that? I love it so much. It's such a cool hoodie.
Yeah. Okay, a little noise here as I readjust. Yeah, it's been pretty fun to design some hoodies. So there's some that are in like grayscale to keep the outfit really classic and simple. But I was like, we kind of need like a pop of color. So to spoil it, there's one that says, "This is my airport outfit." And then another one says, "Sorry, I can't. I'm in another country."
Love that too.
Because I think you can relate to this. Like,
Yes.
hey, are you like, hey, I'd love to hang out. Sorry, I'm back in the Netherlands, or
Yeah.
I'm
Catch you
passing
in a
through
year.
Reykjavik. Yeah, like
Yeah.
next year, same time.
Exactly.
And then there's one that just has my logo airplane and has your travel friend down the arm. And I encourage people to use them as a way to like prompt conversation and kind of like cheesy, will you be my travel friend? Like it could be like
Yeah.
that. So
Oh,
yeah,
I
it's
love
pretty
that.
exciting.
So are you going to get people to wear that at your co-living?
I hope so. I hope so. That'd be
Oh,
really fun that we
oh,
all kind of match, but
yeah,
individualistically. Is that a word?
yeah.
It is now.
It is now. I think so. But also for those of the people that are listening right now, maybe they don't know anything about your co-living. Can you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit more about where it is, when it is, what's up with it?
Yeah, so I've been hinting, I think, in like some little episodes. One of our
Yeah.
previous episodes, I had a short break in our interview for it, but I'm hosting what's called a pop-up co-living. If you're unfamiliar with that, co-livings, I identify them as adult hostels. So it's a place where we as mature adults who are working, remote working, digital nomad, or you're pursuing a project, maybe you're like really in this phase of thinking through. I've met people who are in co-livings who are just like in between careers and they spend this time just being somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So it's in Montenegro in the Balkans. And if you don't know where Montenegro is, get your Google Maps out. But it is below Croatia, above Albania, and we will be on the Adriatic Sea. So sharing the same waters as Albania and Croatia,
I
but
mean,
it
you have a
is.
map behind you.
Oh, I do have a map behind me.
There
Can I
you go.
even point?
You could
I think it's a
maybe.
very old map, actually. This is not my house. Yeah, and it's in October. It starts September 27th, and we are going to be working. There's a co-working space and a gathering space. We're partnering with Montenegro Tower and Chris, who owns that
Oh,
there, and then private accommodation. So there's an option for either what I identify as a studio, so it's just one big room, which is a kitchenette and a private bathroom, or there's one bedroom apartment. So you have a living room and an actual separate bedroom. We're a 10-minute
cool.
walk to the beach and a 10-minute walk in the other direction to the co-working awesome area that has beautiful sunsets, rooftop workspaces. There's a second bigger kitchen for communal eating together, and it's going to be awesome. We'll have a sommelier wine tasting,
Oh,
hikes, Kotor Bay boat tour, some group dinners. And those are like the planned things, but naturally in these co-living environments, there's so much going on, as well as just the support of people working together.
yeah.
And that's my favorite part is work hard, play hard. It sounds
Yeah.
cheesy, but it's true.
No, it's so true though. Like you meet some of the coolest people when you go to co-livings, right? And you don't know what kind of relationship you can build with them. And then also work-wise, maybe you meet people that could become either new clients or new friends of clients or people that know people that can help you or vice versa, you can help somebody else. It's just such a great way to network and open up, but then personally as well. What a great way to meet new friends and also be in Montenegro. What a beautiful country that is.
Yeah, luckily Shandy's been there before. So it's that idea of in a hostel, it's always hard because you may say, "Oh, I have a meeting I need to take, or I need to finish this project," and people are on vacation wanting to drink beers and hang out. And I find in co-livings, when you say, "I gotta go, I have a meeting," it's very well respected because we're all working professionals,
Oh yeah.
and doesn't matter what time zone you're on. So if you work in Pacific, Eastern Mountain Time, or North America time zone, that's fine because we'll work activities around it. And one of the activities is Shandy is going to be leading us through some training, keeping us active and mobile because we're going to be on our laptops a lot. And it's something I want to create a sustainable but healthy environment that's really achievable for everyone to do. So like
Yeah.
we're not making workouts that everyone can get their little sweat on.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely. And so what would you say would be like the day-to-day things going on there? Like, so I fly there, say on the 27th of September, I show up. What would I be expected? Like, do I do something? Do I just follow you around? What do I do?
Follow me like I'm a mother
Yeah,
duckling.
exactly.
You'll receive a rough itinerary a few weeks prior and then closer to something a little bit more concrete. So there will be some days where we have some specific activities planned. And again, things like your group training sessions will be at a specific time, matching what's the best time zone for everyone or time of day based on working time zones. So weekends will be mostly activities. So expect to be working more in the Monday to Friday zone, but it's really super flexible because why would I build something that people can't attend and can't maximize? So it just really depends on the group. Partners are totally available to come and stay together. If you want to stay with a friend in a room and work your budget that way, you can. Unfortunately, no pets are allowed, but I wish they were. So in future, maybe we'll find something. And I think it's just going to be a really great month. Montenegro is so beautiful, and there's easy ways to get to it. There's 3 airports you can fly into. All of them, you do have to take a second part of transportation, but I outline that all on the website, and you get to book a call with me either way, so we can talk through the best way for you to get there. And I'm really excited.
Oh, that sounds like such a dream. Okay, anybody listening interested, hit Hannah up because it's going to be such a cool month.
Yes.
So fun, networking, also being in the sun, and like 10-minute beach away. Okay.
Yeah. October in Montenegro is still, yes, the nights may cool off, and towards the end of the month for sure we might have like some less than 20-degree days, but I'm pretty confident, having been there around that time before, that we're gonna have nice weather where you can still dip in the sun. And it's kind of good because it's not so much summer where you're like, you can stay focused on your laptop and not get distracted by wanting to swim. But it'll be really nice weather, especially for hiking. I think it'll be perfect for that if you want to do some trails, whether they're simple, easy trails or there's some crazy mountains that you can hike in Montenegro.
So many options. Oh, it sounds so cool. I'm so excited for it.
I know. I am too. So anyway, if anyone's interested, it's on my website, yourtravelfriendanna.com/coliving/Montenegro/2025. That's a long one. It's also at the top. There's a bar at the top. It's blue. You can click on that. And book a call with me if you have any questions. Doesn't mean you have to sign up right away. That's the whole point, is having a discussion, making sure our vibes check. I really want to make sure that people know what they're getting themselves into. But it's a perfect way, if you are also a remote worker, to take that leap into digital nomad life. Do it with a group of people who get it. There'll be a mix of experiences. And maybe you can also get your boss to approve you, if you're not a remote worker, to try something new and say, hey, I work from home all the time anyway. Can I just do it from a different home for a month? So I'm excited. So thanks, Shani, for asking. What's going on in your world? You're training so much in person, which is so exciting. But you recently shared that, if you're open to sharing with the Where She Builds audience, how did a client recently find you?
Wild. It was really crazy. So I got a message on, actually just from my website. I got an email and I looked it up, and I thought first it was going to be a spam. You know, you get a lot of spam emails lately, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll just reply back, see what happens. And it turned out to be a European woman, and she reached out to me and she's like, yeah, I really want to have some coaching, and I found you. And so I had a call with her, and I was like, just out of curiosity, how did you find me? Because I mean, obviously I'm doing a little bit of marketing here and there, but from Europe, how did you find me? She's like, well, I found you on ChatGPT, actually. I was like, what?
Crazy.
Wild. So she was looking up digital nomad personal trainers, people that are used to training online, who also know a little bit about nutrition. And I was like, okay. And then she said that I was the number one thing that popped up, and she looked at me and she's like, oh, she's an actual real person. So she reached out, and here we are.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
wild.
Crazy. Do you think because you feed, if anyone's like AI world person, you're on ChatGPT a lot, and I'm sure you're using it to help you with your material. So do you think feeding ChatGPT a lot of information about yourself has also helped someone find you? Is that how it works?
I have no idea how it works. I mean, I have a lot of stuff on Google as well, of course, like with my website, and I have a lot of, I don't know, like I've been trying to
do an online presence for sure.
Yeah. And then of course with Instagram and everything, and I don't know if that pops up so much. Like I don't know anything about this, but I do use ChatGPT a lot for marketing purposes and for, you know, just feeding information about myself on there, which is probably great anyways.
Yeah.
But it worked. I got somebody interested in there. So I think that's super cool that somebody was just looking up and they found that I was a perfect match. And I love that, because then you know that people are interested, because that's the thing that with my personal training and with my nutrition coaching is that I want to have somebody that if I'm coaching that we're a good match, because I'm not just going to take on anybody. I want to make sure that, your vibe matches my vibe. And if you don't, then I'll help you find somebody else. But I want to make sure that you have the best match possible so that we can work well together. And I understand where you're coming from. And for a digital nomad, that's perfect because, I lived in a van for 3 years. I was a nomad for a long time. And now just because I have an apartment doesn't mean I don't understand all of that stuff still. So it's cool to have or to meet people that are still in that same mindset of being able to work anywhere and they want an online trainer. And it was just such a cool circumstance. I was like, this is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic, fantastic. I'm thinking ChatGPT maybe should have been one of the things on our list for today's episode. I can't remember if we included it, but either way, we're diving into how to make friends. So a lot of this topic where, the connection and meeting new people, whether it's professional, personal, or you connect someone with someone else because of your travels. So we'll get into today's episode about how to make friends when you're traveling, no matter where you are or where your base is. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. In today's topic, we're going to talk about making friends while traveling, but also not traveling, ways to approach connecting with people, and just covering tips about developing relationships in general. So, Anna, do you want to kick us off? Sharing about how you approach travel versus at home.
Yeah, it's so good. I love this topic. I think it's so important. I am mostly a solo traveler, so I love that we're jumping into this today, sharing some tips, some experiences. We're going to read some funny pickup lines, and we just wanted to provide some information about how to connect with people online. Because also, it is hard. Let me just start with that, Shandy, and then we can get into our first topic. We've got some tips and points that we want to cover, but it's not as easy as the Instagram world makes it seem. Would you agree with that?
100%. Especially as a solo traveler, you think, well, actually, I do have to preface this I was a solo traveler before and now I travel with my partner all the time. I do find it more difficult to make friends traveling with a partner versus solo, but we can talk about that later too.
Yeah, definitely. I was wondering if we could dive into that about, well, maybe later in our topic. I want to know how you make friends well in a partnership solo, and then how you guys navigate being open to friendships individually or as a couple. But maybe we can start with approaching travel and making friends. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Approaching making friends while traveling and at home. Sometimes I do think I'm dyslexic, which if anyone is dyslexic, please tell me, because I flip words when I'm reading them so often, and it's gotten worse as I've gotten older. But I don't jumble the alphabet, just solid words. Side note. So anyway, okay. So when being home, so I just recently was 6 months home, or where I call my home base, which is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And it is so different than when I'm traveling. I feel like a completely different human. I feel scared to make friends because I know too much is my main thing. I think naivety is a beautiful quality to have. When you don't know the place, you don't know the restaurant, you don't know the people, you are just so open to see what happens. Whereas when I'm home and someone's like, let's meet at this coffee shop, I have context. That coffee shop in that neighborhood is not what I want. And it gives me these excuses or ways to get out of maybe some interactions. I find it so much easier to make friends abroad or when I am traveling because I'm just whoever I want to be.
I'm just nodding my head along. I'm like, yes, yes, keep going. I agree 100%.
Don't let me keep going. I can yap forever. So
no, I 100% agree because I think we talked about this in a previous episode too, but when you're traveling, you can be whoever you want to be. But when you're at your home base and you know so many people, you're kind of put into this box of, oh, this person, let's say, oh, Anna is this person. She can't go outside of this box because this is who she is. Whereas when you're traveling, nobody's put you into a box because they don't know who you are. They don't know where you come from. They don't know what country you're from. They don't know what language that you speak. They don't know your history. They don't know anything about you. So you can literally be anything that you choose to be. So the freedom there is just so much more that you can, be more extroverted, or you can be more introverted, or you can be literally anything.
Yeah, I think also as a solopreneur for myself, when I first started my nomad journey, I would say, oh, I do freelance work for small businesses. And then the next year I was like, no, I really need to hype my YouTube channel. So I would just introduce myself as a YouTuber. And then now when people ask me, what do? I say, I'm an entrepreneur. I've got 2 projects. I've got freelance clients. And then I also am building a travel community business. So I have changed who I am versus if I was at home for these 3 years and like next time someone says, meeting a new friend with, let's say, you by my side and you know what I'm doing. And then I'm like, now I'm suddenly a YouTuber. You'd look at me with crazy eyes and be like, no, you're not. You said that you do freelance and bookkeeping. Like what? So I think the beauty of like starting is you can be whoever you want to be, show up authentically as you feel you are in this chapter of life. And yeah, and I think the best part is you don't feel like you hurt anyone's feelings. I feel like I can walk away and I don't feel bad about it. Whereas when you are home, they might know someone, you might run into them again. But when you're traveling, you're like, look, this interaction was great. I don't want to have it again. Thank you so much for the meal, for the walk, whatever. And then that's it. And like you leave. Unless
No
you join
strings
them.
attached.
No
Yeah.
strings attached unless you are Instagram friends. You can always block them after though, and you'll never see them again. So it's great. I mean, pretty harsh, but it's great. It's very
It's the
non-Canadian
option.
too. So I
Yeah.
feel like in Canada, we're way too nice, and I want to make us a little bit stronger in our interactions.
Yeah, more straightforward.
Yes, yes.
100%. Yeah.
So one of the tips you wanted to cover is how to meet people while traveling, and this is covered, I think, so much on social media, and obviously you can ask little Chat GPT for help. But some of the ways that I have met people traveling, and really September 2024 is when like the light bulb moment went off for me, and I was kicking myself that I didn't know for the last 2 years. So one of the best apps I've used is the Hostelworld chat app. So what happens with that is if you book a hostel in a city, so I'll use the example of I booked a hostel in Warsaw, you are added into the Warsaw group chat. And so
Oh.
anyone who has booked a hostel in Warsaw in the dates that you have, you are instantly in a group chat. So many people are like, hey, I want to do a walking tour. Anyone want to join? Hey, want to grab beers tonight, dinner tonight? So many solo travelers. So in Warsaw, I met up with a group of, there's 6 of us, 7 including me. We grabbed some drinks, and from that I met someone who then I hung out with the rest of the week and got to have dinners with, explore the old Prague. No, not the old Prague, the old Warsaw, wrong city. I was thinking P in Poland. And it was just great. So the hostel world chat was fantastic in Poland. But you do have to book a hostel to access that chat. You can get invited, but like you have to ask one chat to invite you to a different city, which can be tricky if there's no one on there. And you can kind of vet people too. So as a female solo traveler, I could vet that like if it was just me and one guy and the interaction was something I wasn't looking for, I can make sure like, hey, I'd like to get a group of us together, and then you can have a nice balance of people.
Nice. I've never heard of that. So that's really nice that you shared that because I didn't know that you could do that. Hostel World had a chat or anything. So
When was
very
the last
cool.
time you stayed in a hostel, Shandy?
Oof.
That's
Probably
why.
probably when I was in Asia. So 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's important, like hostels, you can book the private rooms too. So they are kind of more expensive than an Airbnb now, but it's exactly for this reason. You get some social interaction and maybe some friendship, depending what you're looking for, where you are.
Yeah. No, I like that. That's really cool. Usually how we meet people is just from free walking tours. So we
Yes.
go to, let's say on Guru Walk, you can sign
Love
up for
that.
free walking
Favorite
tours.
platform.
It's so nice. And then it's so cool because then you meet up with a group of people. It can be, I think, up to like 20 people or something like that. It's crazy. And then I just sit back and I just kind of listen to people making conversations. And then I look around, I'm like, oh, I want to talk to you. So then when we're walking in different places, then I kind of try to catch up to them and say, like, oh, I heard you talking about this. Super cool. Like, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And then you just start this conversation. And then you have a best friend for at least 2 hours. And then you're chatting, walking, whatever. And then if you still feel like you click, then the walking tour is over. You ask, what are you doing later? And then you can either go for a coffee or you can walk around the city still together or go visit different places if your travel plans line up. So I think that's a really great way because then you also get to meet in person,
Yes.
which then I think is so much less scary than meeting somebody, let's say, on your phone and then having to meet up with them because I have so much anxiety around like I've gone to a lot of meetups here in the Netherlands just to meet other people, but then I get so much anxiety when I'm on my phone. I'm like, okay, well, this is this person's name. They don't have a profile picture, so I don't know who I'm looking for. Do I show up right on time? Do I show up a little bit earlier, or do I show up later so that they're already there? And then I'm looking around, seeing if they're looking around. There's so many things going on in my head that I'm like, I don't want to deal with that. So the walking tours for me, chef's kiss.
Okay, next time you do meet up though, it doesn't matter what time you show up. You show up when you want to show up, girl, and just hold that space. If you're late, that's fine. They can wait. If you're early and own it. Like, I want you to show up, and I would do the exact same. So it's advice to myself also. Some other ways that people have met while traveling, there's a Trip BFF app. I've heard through other travel friends that they've had success with that, which also just kind of matches people in the same place at the same time. I think there is a decent female audience on there as well. As you said, Meetup, that is an actual platform. I think a little bit more businessy, networky for local folks, but
It
if
can
you had
be
a certain
both, though.
interest point, though, it might be good.
Yeah. Yeah, it can be both. Yeah, and then also Bumble BFF, I think it's called. I've heard of some people
I've heard
doing
good
that.
things. Never tried
Yeah.
it.
Me neither, but yeah, I've heard that you can meet pretty, and you can also put on your profile kind of what you're looking for too.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
yeah.
I think it's something also was my travel friend community. I'm just going to totally plug that
Do
because
it.
if you are going to a certain destination, there's locals and internationals on there. So, for example, if you're going to Montenegro, I know local people who are obviously part of this international community and probably open to meeting others. We've had friends meet in Serbia. We had friends meet in Colombia, in Budapest, Hungary. So I want more of those meetups to happen. And usually someone can vet for the other person in the group too. So it's nice because there's kind of someone knows someone because it's kind of word of mouth how people are getting into the community. So
Mm-hmm.
there's some vetting process there. And then activities. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, for example, I knew I really wanted to get into cycling. It was just springtime. So finding the things you like to do. We've had a friend of ours, Lasheen, in past episodes. He talked about how he went to Montenegro and enjoyed jiu-jitsu. So he was looking for a town that offered jiu-jitsu. What are some of those like activity led points that can lead people to find like-minded individuals, local and internationals maybe? Do you have any ideas of those?
Well, I think honestly on the Meetup app as well, like I use that a lot around here. And you can search for different things that you like to do as well. So I really like to play volleyball. So you can look for volleyball things that are going around on the area or in the area. And you can see, okay, do you have to have a team when you come there? Or can you just show up as a solo? And then you can sign up for yourself there. And then you can also see who's already coming, which I
Nice.
really love to see that as well. Or rock climbing, if you like rock climbing. Or if you're by an ocean, you can sign up for surfing classes or
Yes.
surfing groups, things like that. Like there's so many different opportunities that if you like a sport or if you think that you want to try something that you've never tried before, like we said, you can be whoever you want to be when you're traveling. So if you want to decide that today I'm going to be a surfer, go ahead. You be a surfer today.
You go ahead because surfing is not for me, but you go
No?
ahead. No, I tried it once in Portugal. I got hit in the head.
Oh my gosh.
I was okay. Like I would say there was definitely some repercussions the next day. Like I was fine. I didn't knock out, but I definitely didn't
Really?
feel normal the next day. And it's just sour taste in my mouth now, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was not good conditions. Like the instructors were like, "This is the worst day of the year." I was like, "Cool, bro. Really boosting my confidence here."
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I had a similar experience when with diving, like scuba diving,
Oh,
because I have my certification with diving, but we were where was that? South Africa. We were diving and they were just had such a bad conditions, bad skipper who was driving us or
F.
driving us out to the area. And it was in the middle, like I think we were 10 miles or something away from the coast. So it was a long ways. We were just in the
To
middle.
make me
And
so anxious.
oh my gosh, I can get into the story later, but long story short, I've never had like I'm a swimmer. I'm very comfortable in the water, I've never had problems with it before, and I've never had so much anxiety as I did trying to get down in the water that time. So I can totally bet with you when we're talking about those bad things. It just ruined your taste for that experience, but don't let that scare you. It's also nice to
Yes.
experience those things and then also push yourself the next time to try it again because then it won't be
Yeah,
as
but if
bad
you're also in
hopefully
a
the next time.
Yeah, and if you're in a fear state, for example, in that diving, you can turn to the person next to you and you'd be like, yo, I'm really nervous. Are you? And that can be kind
Yeah,
of that
exactly.
bonding moment and be like, let's grab a beer after this and like relax or whatever your choice of drink is. So that's
Exactly.
a,
Perfect opportunity. Perfect opportunity to chat, make friends, socialize. Yeah.
yeah. One of the apps too that we should kind of check in on is couch surfing, which is a full app. So if you've never heard of couch surfing, it is free accommodations for people where people open their home for their couches, their second bedroom. The premise of it is meant to be really a cultural exchange. I don't know if you would agree with that, Shandy, but it's this I have a free space. I live in this thing. I like to meet international people and provide housing. And in return, I hope that you have a conversation with me. I get to learn about your culture and we have this exchange. So I've heard, I've never done it. I'm scared. As a
Yeah.
female, I am scared.
Yes.
Have you ever done it? And I think I know the answer.
No, no. I have
Okay.
heard of a lot of people doing it, but I've only personally heard from experiences from males doing it, which was
Yes.
fantastic for them. They said it was a great opportunity, great way to have free travel. But of course, as a female traveler, you always have to be a little bit more weary. And it's something that I think men don't you typically think about when they're traveling either, is the safety wise. So even let's say 9.9 times out of 10 things are going to go well. It's just that that point one time that you're just thinking, what if, and then you're very vulnerable. So for me, I don't think I would ever do it, but that's just safety wise in my mind. I'd just rather spend that extra, let's say 30 euros or something a night and know that I'm safe.
Yeah, the two thoughts came to mind was one, even if you are a budget traveler, always make sure you have enough money or access to money, that being with someone that can transfer you money should you need cash quick to be safe. So like
Yes.
always save that like I need a hotel stay kind of vibe. I've heard mixed things. Yeah, some of the male friends were like, I had a whole apartment to myself for 5 days and it was the best thing
Wow.
ever for free. Yeah. I've had some female friends. I met a German girl once. I met her in Romania. I think she was German and she had like couch surfed in like Iran. And I was like, what
Whoa.
are you made of? Because I need whatever, like, and she was cute as a button. Like, I was like, okay, I need a taste of, a little bit of whatever
Yeah.
confidence you have. But I've also heard some females say that, a male host was like wanting company beyond just a chit chat. So,
Yeah.
I think read reviews. I think you can choose female host as well on the platform. It's a great budget option, but gut feeling always. If it
Yes.
doesn't feel right, if you enter the space and something's wrong, do not be afraid to just say, actually, you know what? A friend just just lie and say a friend just arrived into town. I'm going to go stay with them. So
Hmm. Yeah.
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 Coucher, it could be good though. It could be good. You could have the best host ever who takes you all around town and have like an amazing experience. We want to chat. Do you have any bad meetup experiences, Shandy?
I don't think so, to be honest. Like anything that I've had, let's say meetup wise, has led to really great friendships. Also, I refer to it a lot meeting up here because I really wanted to expand who I'm talking to here, coming as an expat into a new city that I'm living for over a year at now. I really wanted to meet new people. And the very first meetup that I went to was a language meetup. So I wanted to learn, to learn Dutch. So I went to this language meetup. And the very first time I went there, I met three amazing people. And now it's actually quite fun. We have this little dinners together all the time. So the three people, two of them were a couple, and then another single girl. And the one is Italian, one is German, and then the man is Syrian. And then all of us, me and Patrick as well, go and we have dinners together and we make each other's food. So the Syrian guy, he makes Syrian food. The German girl makes German food. The Italian girl makes Italian. So it's so much fun. We get to experience each other's cultures together. And it's just all because of that one meetup that I went to and we spoke Dutch together. And now we have such a great friendship that's been going on for months and months now. So that's obviously not a bad experience. So
Yummy,
I can't think
yummy.
of anything bad about meetups. What
Yeah.
about you?
Um, I haven't like as we were prepping this episode, I was trying to think if I've had any, and I think they would have stood out if I did. So I didn't. But I just want to go back to some platforms that were good because dinner
Mm-hmm.
made me think of two more. So
Mm-hmm.
there's one called Creative Lunch Club, which I'll put in the show notes. And this is intended for creatives, but really that could go of so vastly. You don't have to professionally be creative. I would say podcast host definitely falls into that. And you get matched with 2 people once a month, no matter your location. And the idea is that you have lunch together. So the benefit of this is it's quite cheap to join. And I like that there is money involved in it because it kind of weeds out the people who would join for free. I've changed my location on it. So I've met it with people in Slovenia. Almost met people in Turkey. I had success in Canada with them. And I did change my location to Vancouver. So if I get my matches in time, maybe I'll have a Vancouver meetup with people.
Cool.
So you have to drive that relationship. It's so awesome. And then the other one is Time Left. Have you ever heard of this one?
No.
Oh my gosh, they should sponsor us for all of these. So if they're listening, like Time Left is great, as similar to Creative Lunch Club, but it happens every Wednesday at 7 p.m. around the world. So what's different to this one than Creative Lunch Club is you have to buy a ticket to dinner. And then you are matched with up to 6 people at a dinner table, and you are given the restaurant. You're even given question prompts. You're given the restaurant the day of, but you get nationalities and industries of people work, like the work industries people are in, before dinner. That hasn't led to any deeper relationships, but I've only tried it in Calgary when I was home, and I think I will try it in the next international city I'm in. And I believe you can request language too. So I think that's great. So hopefully I can find some English speaking dinners when I'm abroad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. 2 more platforms that you might want to try. Time Left. For sure there's some in Amsterdam. If not, also some of the other smaller towns. Yeah. And Creative Lunch Club you should for sure be on. So I'm going to send you a link, Shandy.
Yes, please do.
But I don't have any bad meetups, but I have this funny story, which I think in a previous episode, I've talked about the Trevor Noah podcast as well, which I'm just like fascinated by right now. And his episode with Esther Perel, they were talking about laundromats and how we need laundromats in this world because this is a point where we can have natural connections. And with everyone ordering food and you're ordering everything to your door, you're missing that interaction with a cashier or a person at a store. And it made me think of the time I met my friend Rigo, who is from South Africa, at a Polish laundromat. And we were both just doing laundry and she had trouble with the machine. She asked a gentleman to help her. And then she was leaving her bag there and I was as well. And just naturally me started just sharing my whole life story with her. And then we went out for a drink after we were done our laundry. And then fast forward to the next weekend, she was there for a work conference and I was staying in a hotel. So I joined her in her hotel and we had little girls' night 1 week later.
So much fun.
Yeah. Wow. Make that first move. And like, she's similar to you, Shandy, not great at replying to text messages, but I know if I came to South Africa and if she listens to this episode, girl, you better text me. So she was chatty. She was new to Warsaw at the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, what are you doing later? Like, I'd love to get some food. Would you like to join me? So I think, yeah, I definitely made the first move, but her vibe was awesome. And yeah, it was just so good.
Yeah, I do have to say because I don't know how you would identify yourself, Anna, but for me, I feel like you're very extroverted.
So misleading, but keep going.
Yeah. Okay. But then I so appreciate as an introvert, I so appreciate when there's an extroverted person that comes up to me and starts chatting and starts like making that first step because it's such a big, I don't know, as an introvert, I just find it so hard to be able to make conversations. I do try to push myself, but then it's so much nicer, of course, if somebody else comes up to you and starts talking. So I do try to channel my inner extrovert sometimes when traveling, but it's just nice to have somebody come up to you and chat as well.
Yeah, for sure. So you are fully introverted, 100%, Shandy?
Well, I don't think anybody is fully introverted or fully extroverted. I think it's more of a, let's say, timeline, or more of a, how do you say that?
A spectrum.
Yes, more of a spectrum. Exactly.
She's doing a dance with her hands, trying to like build the level out.
I talk a lot with my hands, by the way, so a ton. But no, exactly. So I think it's more of a spectrum, and I don't think anybody is fully introverted or fully extroverted. But I do think I fall, say, if the middle line, I fall a little bit more towards introverted. And it depends on the day too.
Hey friends, I hope you're enjoying this episode of the Where She Builds podcast. I just wanted to pause and let you know about my co-living that is happening in Montenegro in 2025. It is a pop-up co-living for digital nomads, remote workers, and people who are pursuing projects and passions who want a space where they can work hard and play hard. We will be working together. We will be exploring together with your own private accommodations and things like boat tours, hikes, beach trips, and just gathering as an awesome group of people and new international friends. So if you're interested, you can find all the details on my website, yourtravelfriendanna.com. And in the meantime, feel free to reach out on Instagram at yourtravelfriendanna if you have any questions. Okay, let's get back to the episode now. Was wondering, Shandy, that if since traveling, do you feel like you've learned better about yourself if you're introverted or extroverted, and those kind of how to make interactions and just knowing where you fit in a social circle?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think so. During the episode that you interviewed me with, I kind of shared my story a little bit that when I was in university, I was very, very like in my own bubble. I was scared to talk to anybody. There's like days where I didn't talk to anybody because I was just like,
I feel like she's
and,
like, Marcel the Shell.
yeah. I was just
Sandy.
maybe not that bad, but
okay, good.
I was not
more extroverted than that. Okay.
Yeah, more extroverted than that. But no. And then when I started traveling, and then you start to meet people that you actually really vibe with. And then I think that makes you want to go out and meet new people because then you actually realize that there's people that you do vibe with. Because back then I don't know, there's people that I met, but there was never ever really, I was like, oh, I want to hang out with you, or I just really appreciate my alone time. So then when traveling, I met people that I thought, oh, this is really cool. Then I wanted to learn more about them, and I wanted to learn more about what they're doing and where they're going. And then I really started to step more into, oh, if I open up the conversation, then it flows easier. Then I can, contact with people more, and you can go out for dinners or go partying or whatever, and it becomes a lot more of your social bubble, of course, increases so much more when you're traveling. So yeah, 100%. I think I definitely became more extroverted. Let's say on that spectrum, shifted more towards being more extroverted because of traveling. Absolutely. And you also have to, in addition to that, you also have to really put yourself on the line sometimes when you're traveling. Let's say, even asking for, maybe your Google Maps isn't working and you have to like try to figure out where you're going, and you think, okay, well, this person looks like a local, let me go ask them where the nearest grocery store is. Or if you want to find a cheaper place to get a coffee or something, you just strike up a conversation on the street. Sometimes it falls flat and they just keep walking with their head down on their phone, or sometimes it's like, oh yeah, let me show you, I'll take you there and we can go together, kind of thing. So it's just really, it's a quick, I think you really push yourself to become, let's say, talking with more people. But it's cool with traveling that you have to push yourself like that.
Yeah, one of my first pieces of advice for someone solo traveling or really starting a longer term travel and they want to meet people is I say you have to put out the energy that people want to receive. If it's too woo-woo for you, it's really simple. If you want to make friends in a hostel room, you need to say hi if you want them, because that person could be a little bit more like Shandy and be introverted and just need you to make that first move, and then they're going to be really receptive to that. With that being said, make sure you read the room, make sure that you really identify what someone's energy is giving you back. If they're like, hey, it's nice to meet you, I gotta go, they gotta go for whatever reason. Don't question them, let them be. But if they really start chatting with you, then that's fine. And also if you start an interaction with someone and they're just not your vibe, you can also say, you know what, this has been really lovely getting to know you, but I think I'm going to continue and do this by myself, and that kind of interaction. But I am extroverted, introverted. So my battery fills up really quick and my battery dies really quick. So travel, I would say definitely the last 3 years, I have learned that I can be, I think if you and I, Shandy, well, I know if we are in person together, I will make the moves. I will ask the people. But I have to say when I'm with people, my confidence for that is like tremendously increased.
Yes. Yeah.
But let me be alone and watch my reality TV and refill my battery. So prime mistake I always make is as I continue, I'm starting to travel right now, and we're like a couple weeks into the road trip already. So I know that when I first meet people, I'm so excited. I want to chat with them. I want to chat with them late into the night. I want to go. I want to meet everyone. Da 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 da. And this happened the first night I was at a friend's house. I was like chitty chatty till 1 a.m. And then the next night it was 10 p.m. And I was like, Anna, you need to go in your room and watch Love Island. You need to refill your battery. one, so I could show up for this podcast recording great in the morning, feeling more refreshed. But two, it's like I just know the longevity game I have to play. And so I think that's something different. I think introverts are very good at like preserving their energy, but extroverts, we sometimes go too hard, too fast. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find, like, do you ever is there something that you feel like your battery is draining? Like, is there something that happens that you're like, okay, I need to stop, or I need to, or is it just kind of a mindful thing of, okay, it's been a few hours, I've been chatting with this person, let me take a step back and go? Like, is there anything physically or mentally that comes up for you?
Yes. It's interesting because I do spend a lot of time alone in between very extroverted experiences. I hope that makes
Okay.
sense. So,
Yeah.
previous to doing this road trip, I spent a lot of time alone or making my own decisions. And so when I'm with people and maybe making group decisions or engaging in longer conversations multiple nights in a row, I feel this tiredness that's not like I need more sleep tiredness, but I just need time to like relax my brain and like let the thoughts come back to neutral zone, I guess is what we can call them.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I've said on other episodes, we're exploring if maybe there's some ADHD in that overthinking, but I'm generally an overthinker too, so I just need that time to like bring my thoughts down. Usually it's like also organizing my space, so maybe like cleaning up my bag and like bringing simplicity there. But yeah, and especially maybe not for you, Shandy, because I feel like you bring me down too. So I'm kind of that in between place. If I'm around other yappers, other crazy extroverted people, I try and match their energy and my batteries die quicker. But if I'm around people who are a little bit more introverted, generally Tauruses, also just to bring weird horoscope stuff into it, people who like are chill, I'm naturally not draining my battery as quick. So I can do that
Yeah.
longer term. So it depends who I'm surrounded by. Really depends who I'm surrounded by. Like
Yeah.
nomad weeks or nomad gatherings. Oh my gosh, I better book like a 5-night stay by myself and just lounge out and recharge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. 100% echo what you're saying there, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's one of the ways what is one of the quickest ways you feel to recharge your battery? Because I feel like your battery might be a bit smaller,
Mm-hmm.
but you know how to sustain, when your iPhone goes to low power mode at 20%, I feel like you know how to sustain that quicker or longer, but mine's like 20%. I'm like, oh, I've still got to 15% to be crazy. And then at 15,
Oh,
I mellow out.
no, 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 no. I'm a low battery when it comes to 50.
50%. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool, cool.
No, no, it's 100% exactly what you're saying. The people that are around you definitely either deplete your battery quicker or keep it, let's say, the same level. If you're with more, or if I'm with more extroverted people, I get so drained. And it's not that it's drained in a bad way, but it's drained that I can't go any longer. And I just need to sit by myself, either read a book, or I'm a huge napper. So I take naps.
Okay.
Huge
Okay.
napper. Yeah. So one of the first weeks I started doing in-person training, this was almost a year ago already, I really, really noticed I got home, let's say I'd work like 4 or 5 hour shifts, and it doesn't sound like much, but when you're in person, you're constantly, as a personal trainer, you're moving weights around, you're going back and forth, you have to talk 100% of the time, you're making conversation, you're explaining these things, you're using brain, you're
You're
maybe speaking
on.
Dutch, you're on
You're
100%
on.
of the time.
Full power mode is being depleted.
Exactly. So the first couple weeks that I was doing that, I needed to have a nap every day. I was done. I
Wow.
got home, I couldn't even eat lunch. I just put my feet up and I was like, I'm done. I cancel
You enter the
everything.
house with
Don't call
zombie
me.
arms.
Really, really, I was done. But then I started to, of course, you get used to it. I think it's
Yes.
also a way of practicing. You can force, in a good way, force yourself to become more extroverted, make that battery a little bit bigger. But you also have to really listen to your body and listen to your mind and say, okay, when you're getting signs from yourself that's like, okay, you need to take a break, just take that break and just take a step back. And it doesn't have to be super long. It can just be a couple minutes of your alone time, or just sitting in a room by yourself with
I
your
was
headphones
thinking
on.
like go have an extra long bathroom break, which is
Yeah.
like maybe TMI. People don't need to
Yeah.
know what you're doing in there, but like that's that space where you're gonna have a
Yes.
moment alone. We hear about moms hiding in the bathroom from their
Yes.
kids. Like
Yeah.
maybe you just need that like
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then if there's days, like day after day after day, that it's really big, let's say, impressions all the time, lots of people coming in at the Montenegro conference, for example, where we met, so many things coming in. And because you're a speaker, people are coming to talk to you about your speech and about the questions with this. And then you have all of these things going on. There was a week afterwards that I mean, I worked, but it was very limited. It was very much, I need to replenish my battery. And it was going on walks. It was being a little bit, let's say, not working out super intensive. It was drinking lots of water. It was reading a book that made me, not a business book, but a nice book that I was just
fantasy,
reading.
something to like bring you into a relaxed state. Yeah.
And I'm not one to read those type of books. I always used to be one that would just have to read entrepreneurial books or books about how to improve yourself or those kind of things. Like I love self-help books, but I realized that also kind of depleted my battery a little bit too. So shifting things, finding things that work for you, but it's really just, like I said, you have to find things that work for you. And what works for you would maybe not work for me. So you just have to figure out you.
And I think one tool I learned in one of my past relationships too, where I maybe was like in a really good mood, but my energy levels were not there. I think use a quantitative expression of it. So even if you joke about the iPhone battery, sometimes I think people think I am so extroverted and then they're like, why are you so quiet all of a sudden? Some people could take it personally. And if you just say, look, I'm in a really good mood. I'm really happy to be here, but like my battery literally needs to be plugged back in. I'm at about a 20%. I'm happy to finish the evening with you, but just know that I'm going to be a bit more quiet or timid or shy compared to the rest of the day. And I think just I'm at a 2 for energy, but like a 10 for attitude, you know, or reverse. Like I have lots of energy today, but I'm actually like not in the best headspace. And I use this when I meet people for the first time. I'm sorry, but like if we just met on a walking tour and we go for lunch, I'm going to probably express where my mood is because I want you to understand quickly who I am. And I want to check in with you too of, okay, how are your energy levels? Like, what are you thinking for the rest of the day? Like, give me a number here, you know? So I think that's a good way, meeting people, quickly doing that introverted, extroverted thing. You'll probably learn also quickly what they're like. And just know that it's okay to walk away if you've met these new friends that are really draining your battery as well. So if you're a bit more introverted or that kind of middle ground, it's okay to say, look, you have way more energy than I do, and I just need to go back and be by myself for a bit. I'll catch up with you later tonight. So, yeah,
exactly.
You don't have to give them a reason.
No.
We can take
Not
that advice ourselves.
No. No is an answer too. That's it.
No is an answer too. That's so great. Yeah. So in meeting new people, we were thinking about, and we joked about it on Lasheen's episode, which is episode 4, about how to pick up people. And in a non-romantic way, in a way of you are solo traveling, you want to meet friends. So I asked ChatGPT, this is what I wrote to it. And for context, I'm still learning how to use ChatGPT with the best prompts. So I said, I'm trying to create a list of pickup lines that are non-romantic that could spark conversation when someone is solo traveling and trying to strike up chatting in a city they've never been in before. So I think as I said pickup lines, it gave some funny ones. Are you ready for this, Shandy?
Drum roll, please.
Do you know if there's a place? Oh, wait, I screwed that up. Okay, wait, I gotta redo it. Do you know if this place does coffee refills or emotional support lattes?
Could you imagine? Just picture yourself. You're sitting in a cafe, you're doing your own thing, maybe you're working, whatever, and somebody comes up and says that to you. What would you do? What would you do?
I'd probably just, like, my first instinct honestly was like, you're not a person for me. Like, like I'd just be like, go get a coffee. Because I'm probably working. I'm probably like needing caffeination myself. So I'm like, dude, go get therapy.
Yeah. Or say, go talk to the barista.
Yeah. Okay, another one is, have you figured out wow, I'm not delivering these well. I can't read. Have you figured out what that sign means yet, or are we both lost? That one's kind of cute. If you wanted romance, a little romance. Yeah. Someone's like staring.
It's giving like, which way is the beach? Is it that way or that way? You know?
People on Spotify can't see that. Shandy did like flexing. I got a beach ball. It's about this around. It either went this way or this way. I don't know. Or you flex your arms.
Yeah, it's one of those typical like grade 8 pickup lines that would never actually work in real life. But then it's just so cringy that people are like, okay, maybe I'll give you a shot because it's so cringy.
Okay, here's another cringy one. Would it be too bold to ask what brought you to this exact street corner today?
Ooh.
It's creepy. No, it's giving creepy. I'd be like, bro, my legs brought me here. What are you talking about? Oh, this is want to trade favorite cities like Pokemon cards?
Oh, I got the ick from that one.
It's so funny. Okay, so we compilated a couple actual prompting conversation pickup lines. I tried to get Lasheen to give us more on that episode, but he wouldn't. So anyway, here we are. So the classic, where are you from? If you hear an accent, a different language, you can ask that.
Honestly, that's the one that I use the most. If I hear,
Everyone does. Yeah.
Especially here, if anybody is walking around or training wise, I hear somebody and I hear accent, like, oh, where are you from? Starts such a great conversation. And it's so natural. It gives the people an out if they don't want to talk. And then if they do want to talk, they can explain exactly where they're from, what they're doing here, why they came. Like, it's just such a great interjection.
Yeah. Or asking them in your language. So hopefully they speak English if it's English. Asking them, oh, do you mind me asking what language you're speaking? That kind of like something, it's very non-personal. It's easy. One of them we stole from Lasheen is it safe to leave your laptop here? So if you're at a coffee shop and someone goes to the washroom and they ask you to watch over their laptop, you can be like, oh, is it safe to leave your laptop here? Like, I'd never do that in my city. Then they're probably gonna be like, what's your city? And then you're like, I'm from Canada. And then do.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's such a great one if you're working from a cafe or if you're just sitting, I think essentially a cafe was
A
probably the best
co-working
one. But
too, though. I think if it's not a co-working where it's that nomadic international scene. I remember in France, in Nice, actually, for one day, I rented a co-working that felt very formal and very locals working there. So that could be good too, like grabbing a coffee too and just be like, hey, like I left my laptop. Do you think it's safe? And you're probably praying it is.
And then they say no. And then,
you're running back to grab your laptop. So another recommendation was maybe at a coffee shop or a place where there's some kind of cashier, you can ask them, do you have any other recommendations for X, Y, and Z? So if you're getting coffee, just be like, I really love your coffee here. Like, I'm trying to explore the best cafes in the city. Is there one that you like in the north, south, near the beach? Give them a place. Or, hey, I'm headed later towards this area of town. Do you have like your favorite lunch spot? So you can do that too.
Yeah, a great way to get nice tips about, let's say, from a local about where you're traveling. Yeah.
I thought this one was good too. Prefer preface. I wrote all these, but not chatty. That's what I call it. How do you spend your weekend? I think is a great one to ask a local person.
Yeah. It's also a really nice one that I think I saw it somewhere and I've been trying to use it myself, is that instead of asking somebody what they do for work, ask them what they do for hobbies. Because then lots of times, especially nowadays, I feel like work is such a thing that shouldn't identify who you are, because some people, let's say, are just working to get money so that they can do their hobbies. And then it's not about passion, but it's just doing their work. So then instead of saying, oh, what do you do for work? And then they say something like, oh, I hate my work, blah, blah, blah. And then it just makes that tone so not nice, right? But if you ask about hobbies, everybody has a hobby and everybody's excited about sharing their hobbies. And maybe you have the same hobby and then you have a great conversation started up.
It's funny you say that. When someone asks me what my hobby is, I don't know how to answer it.
Really?
Because so much of my work is my personal life, but travel, I'm like, I don't know. I like to eat and walk and people watch.
Those are hobbies right there.
Now that it's summertime, I'm getting back into running and cycling. So I usually say something active. I'm like, I enjoy movement. Like I enjoy being active and doing that and exploring a new area, especially while being active. Chef's kiss. Another thing that I thought would be interesting that I also, in the Western world, we very much ask, what do you do for a living? That's like the second question you ask someone. But I'm trying to this new idea of what is one thing about your job that makes you happy? Or what's like a highlight of your job this week? What's one thing about this week that really excited you at work? So it's giving positive and it's giving, I'm going to learn about your position while not doing the like, I am a developer and I'm building a website.
Like your elevator pitch thing. Yeah, exactly.
It's like, this week at work, like we finally launched the app that we've been developing for this for X amount of time. So
yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm going to use
write that down, Shandy.
Yeah, I'm going to steal it.
Yeah, and how to spend your weekend. So I think this one works very well. Even like for a very formal hotel, when you ask the receptionist, like, what should we do in the city? And they're like, you should enter this museum. I don't know why I'm changing voices here, but you could say, hey, I know this might be a bit of a personal question, but I'm just like really curious. How do you spend your weekends? I'd like to explore like as if I'm living here for the weekend. So do you know of any local events and markets, especially with the summer, so many markets happening. So just walking around that, asking the market vendors, like, is there something happening in the city later that I should know about? So I think that's a great way. We talked about this one earlier, post walking tour. Do you want to go for lunch? Worked for me in Romania. Literally these two Irish girls. Did I tell this story on the podcast before? I feel like I might have. Anyway, these two Irish girls, I believe Helen and Amanda, if you're listening, hello. I literally went up to them and I was like, hey girls, like I see you're traveling and I'm traveling solo. Would you want to get lunch? And at first they were for sure hesitant. And at lunch it was a bit awkward. But I was like, no, stick to it, Anna. You know, let's go for lunch. If they don't want to interact with me anymore, it's fine. But then we ended up hanging out for more in the day. And the next day they're like, we're going to go here for brunch. Come with us. And if I go to Ireland now, I know I have friends. So sometimes you have to push the interaction while reading the room. So it's the same as you said. Yeah. Post walking tour.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's so sweet.
Okay. So another one is, I think totally applies to any kind of food or drink establishment. That looks good. What did you order? Which I feel like is used in the romantic sense as well, but it's good to know.
But I think it's also tone, right?
Yeah.
You can say it as like, oh, that looks good. What did you order? Or you can say like, oh, that looks really good. What did you order?
Yeah.
Totally different tone, totally different delivery.
And we didn't put in, what are you drinking? Because I think that's the romantic kind of thing. So if you just say, hey, I don't know what to order. What did you get? That looks really good. And then they can be like, oh, I'm from here. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, we heard that this was good. If it's another tourist as well or international person, they're like, oh, we heard that we should order this dish at this restaurant. So
yeah, it's an opening for a conversation if both parties want to continue with it. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the other ones is any tips for someone new in town. So even if you're there for 3 days, pretend like you just moved there. Some people are like, oh, we always like everyone hangs out at this park and watches sunset. So I think those are kind of the good ideas of what's happening in the city, not the like touristy things, but like what's going on around the place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our last one, are you going to deliver it?
What
She's lost it. Oh, good. I got it. What's your impression of this place so far? It's a little bit of a stretch, but it could be, I think it's a nice part 2 conversation maker for someone like a new hostel friend. Like, hey, where are you from? So nice. Like, when did you come? All these kind of basic things. And then what's your impression of this place? You're giving emotion. You're opening up a door for not a yes or no answer. Opinions are starting to form.
I actually love that because then you can bond over, let's say, like a travel something that happened. Like we had that happen. I was traveling with a friend in Dublin and we couldn't figure out the buses were so strange to get tickets at the airport to get onto the bus. And then it was just so weird. So then we just struck up a conversation. Stroke.
No, wait, no.
No, struck, right?
Struck up a conversation.
Yeah. Okay.
English native speakers here. So good.
Wow. So we struck up a conversation with a German girl that was also waiting for the bus that was also confused. And so we had a friend for the bus ride. And then unfortunately she had to continue onto her journey. But then she was like, oh, it's too bad because we could have went out for lunch and blah, blah, blah. So it's just, you know, not so much using that what is your impression of this place, but oh, what is your impression of the bus station or how is your experience with getting the ticket? Did you know where to go? And it's just kind of in that situation, if you're going through a hardship or something funny or something, and you just ask them the same thing, like, what was your impression about this situation? It opens up such a nice door for conversation.
He made me think too, and I might be dating myself, making myself old here, but I don't think for very first conversations, especially male to female. And I just want to give, even if males, you're approaching a woman in a very, very friendly way, really just wanting a friendship. I think Snapchat and Instagram asking for that adds this personal element that maybe you're just not ready to reveal your personal life yet. So I think just asking for a phone number really allows someone that control of how to engage with you and like how much they're sharing about their lives. Because I'm on the internet, you can find me, I'm public, but I want you to find it in your own time, or I want me to be able to give you that information, not like, yeah. So Gen Zs, I know you love the Snappy. I don't know what it's called these days. I'm not on Snapchat, but just a phone number is really great. And then you can call them and you probably have internet. And so that's my other tip is just grab phone numbers and then you can develop that relationship otherwise. Also, Instagram uses so much internet and data. So if your friend has limited data as well, it makes it easier just to be texting back and forth, usually on WhatsApp.
Yeah. No, that's a really great tip too.
Yeah. I think this episode's been so great. We have so many other ideas for future episodes of how to maintain friendships over time.
Yes.
So kind of diving into that part 2. But I think we'll wrap it up here. We are Where She Builds Podcast. You can find us on Instagram and YouTube and Spotify. And if you're listening on Spotify, please rate this show 5 stars. It really helps to boost us, and leave a comment and a follow. I'm Anna at Your Travel Friend Anna, and I'm always joined by my beautiful co-host Shandy at Coach Shandy, and we will catch you in the next episode.
See you next time.
Ciao for now.